Hello, everyone. How are you? It's me again, Aimee of AimeeRaupp.com. And as always, I get to come to you live every single week with inspiration, education, empowering tips and tools and strategies for you to live your best life. And for many of you, for you to optimize your fertility so you can bring home that dream baby ASAP. We have so many new followers. So quick about me. I'm the author of those books above me. My two best-selling books in the space of fertility are Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, which came out in 2015, and The Egg Quality Diet, which came out last June. I've also written a book called Chill Out and Get Healthy, and I've written a book on autoimmunity called Body Belief. So I've been in the space of helping women mainly, but men as well, optimize their health and their fertility for 2 decades. I am an acupuncturist and herbalist. I have clinics in the tri-state area, New York City, Nyack, New York, and Westport, Connecticut. And I also have online programs where my team and I coach women all over the world, women and their partners all over the world. And then obviously I have my books. I have all these platforms to reach all of you. And prior to becoming an acupuncturist and herbalist, I have a biology and chemistry degree. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to research and science. And so I try to distill all that down to help you figure out what you can do ASAP to bring home a baby or optimize your health, your fertility, your hormones, so that you can bring home that baby when you're ready to, right? And today I'm going to talk about my top 5 tips for nourishing yourself while trying to conceive. I think these are really important things that you could start doing immediately that will actually have a massive impact on your health, your hormones, and your fertility. One thing I always say is fertility is an extension of health. They are not separate. So it's not just about lowering your FSH or improving your estrogen levels or even ovulating efficiently. It's really about coming back home, tuning into your overall health and vitality. And from that space, understanding that fertility thrives as an extension of that. And to also not underestimate the power that emotions and our stress, or how chronically we're in fight or flight mode, have on our health, our vitality, our physiology, our hormones, and our fertility. So without further ado, tip number 1, self-care, right? So what do I mean by self-care? So my top 5 tips for nourishing yourself while trying to conceive. What do I mean by self-care? I mean you taking time for you. What is your plan for your meals today? What is your plan for your joy today? How are you supporting and nourishing yourself? Or are you just checking the boxes? Are you just shoving a bunch of supplements down your throat, hoping that the supplements will fix whatever challenges are going on and that you'll get pregnant because you read, it starts with the egg and you're taking all the supplements out there, right? And so that should do it. That should help my fertility. You can't, I also always say you can't out supplement a crappy mindset or a crappy lifestyle or a crappy diet, right? So what is the foundation of your self-care? For me, it's making sure I'm getting enough sleep every night. It's making sure I'm getting to bed on time. It's making sure I have pockets of inspiration and joy in my day. It's making sure that I am taking my supplements, that I feel aligned with them, that I am taking time to slow down and eat my food, to nourish my body, to get in my veggies, to get in my protein, to laugh, to show appreciation to those in my life, right? Those are all forms of self-care versus rushing through your day, doing all the things you have to do, checking the boxes, right? That's kind of robotic and not very human. So self-care to me means so much more of like the slowing down, the tuning in. What is it I need right now? How can I better support myself? How can I better find ways to nourish myself, to hear what my body is saying it needs? Self-care is also tuning in and listening to your instincts, right? That's our divine feminine energy. Need to turn around my night owl routine. I go to bed way too late. That is one of the most critical things for fertility that women really severely underestimate, is you need to get to bed by 11 p.m. There are some people who work night shifts. This just came up in a post I did the other day. There are tips around that, but you really need to sleep in complete darkness. You need to get to bed by 11 p.m. You need to sleep 7 to 8 hours. That is your restore cycle. Without proper sleep, the body will not prioritize pregnancy. It will prioritize surviving. And survival and pregnancy don't typically go hand in hand. We have to get ourselves out of the fight or flight survival mode and get ourselves more into rest, relax, and reproduce. That is the self-care mode. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, which I think falls under self-care for certain, is movement. Moving your body, ideally every day, but at the minimum 5 days a week. I missed my exercise the last few days because I was traveling and things were just a little chaotic. And so today I made sure I got, and even though I took a call while I was on the elliptical, it was the only way I was going to get fit exercise in today. So I prioritized that, and that made me feel really good about myself. That's a way of me managing my self-care, moving my body. So movement, I have a whole video on exercise for fertility. So you can go and watch that. Just Google Aimee Raupp and the word exercise, and it will come right up on my YouTube channel. You can watch it at any point. It's in this feed too. You can just scroll through exercise for fertility. So different times of your cycle, there's different things I recommend, but moving your body, I say at the minimum 4 to 5 times a week for 30 to 45 minutes at a time. And for me, it is an act of self-care that I prioritize that I fit it into my schedule. Like I said, even though I was on a call today, not ideal, right? But I had to do what I had to do. And that was just the only time it was going to fit in for me this morning. So to know, movement is another way of, in Chinese medicine, it's really moving our qi, moving our energy. A lot of disease or disharmony from a Chinese medicine perspective is about energy being stuck. Things are not flowing properly. So you might see that in your menstrual cycle. You might see erratic menstrual flow where it starts and stops, or you might see clots and cramping. You might see bad PMS where you just feel like you want to explode. That is a sign that there is qi stagnation. Clots and cramping are even more blood stagnation, but the stagnation bit is what responds really well to moving our body. What also really helps stagnation is, and this should fall under the self-care umbrella, is expressing ourselves emotionally. Stating our truth, speaking our truth, being in our power. Someone asked me recently, what is my main mission with my Instagram, with my feed, and my coming to you guys every week and every day when we post. And I said empowerment and also inspiration and education, right? So getting you guys back in your power. And believe it or not, that has a massive impact on your health and your fertility. It's not just about supplements and diet, says the woman who wrote the Egg Quality Diet, right? But it's not. It's so much more than that. You really need to work on creating that homeostasis in your body, that sense of safety, that sense of calm, that sense of empowerment, that sense of like, I am doing this for me because I love me, because I am special, because I am worthy of taking the time to fit in the movement, to fit in the self-care. Okay, so number 1, self-care, which is a huge umbrella, but I think you guys get the point of what I mean by that. Number 2 is movement. And in the self-care umbrella, I would really put sleep in there too. Sleep, I think, acupuncture is amazing for fertility. I definitely have posts on that as well. Again, Google Aimee Raupp and the word acupuncture. This is not a Q&A, so I won't answer all the questions, but that could be part of that self-care routine. So it could be castor oil packs. So it could be abdominal gua sha, Mayan abdominal massage, right? What is your self-care routine? What's your ideal self-care routine? My computer just went blank. And so self-care, movement. Tip number 3 is critical. They're all critical, but someone asked me also recently, I spoke on a panel, and they said, what is the lowest hanging fruit that you think has the most major impact on women's hormones and fertility? / why do you think fertility challenges are on the rise? And I said the toxins in our environment. Our bath and beauty products, if they are commercial, regular, run-of-the-mill bath and beauty products that are not clean, that are not organic, that are not free of, I have the top 12 things you should avoid in all bath and beauty products, all listed out in all of my books. Things like parabens and sulfates, BPA, all of that stuff. Since the 1980s, we've introduced over 100,000 chemicals to our environment. And during that time, we have seen dramatic increases in cancer rates, in autoimmune conditions, and in fertility challenges. And these chemicals are known as endocrine disrupting chemicals, and they wreak havoc on our health and our hormones. And so once in a while, like if you're getting your hair done, I don't really care what kind of shampoo they're using. Like if that's something you do once a month or once every other month, it's the consistency and frequency. So what are you brushing your teeth with? What deodorant are you using? What facial oil are you using? What kind of makeup are you using? What detergent are you using? What dish soap are you using? That stuff matters because you're doing that every single day. You can't mess around with it. You have to take it very seriously. Detoxing bath and beauty products is critical, as is going organic with your foods. Again, in my books and in all the resources pages that come with my books, it is all laid out of like what needs to be organic, what doesn't need to be organic. So you guys can check out that aimeeraupp.com/books where all my books are. You can also go on Amazon and just search my books there. And every one of my books comes with an incredible resources page. You need to have the book because there's a secret link in the book to get to the resources page. I do that on purpose because there's a lot of information on those resources pages, and I spend a lot of time and energy creating that for my readers. But so self-care, and of course, sleep falls under that umbrella of self-care, as does a great question, acupuncture, castor oil packs, abdominal gua sha, just taking time for you, reconnecting to you, then movement, then detoxing our bath and beauty products. Tip number 4 is food. Of course, food is really important. But I do think I would prioritize self-care over all of them, right? Food and supplements kind of go in the same category. But again, like I said, you can't out-supplement a crappy mindset or a crappy diet. So food is medicine. Seeing food as medicine is an act of self-care. Seeing food as nourishment is an act of self-care. Planning your meals, looking at your food as a means of how is this going to support me? How is this going to nourish me? How does this taste? How does this make my body feel? Do I feel aligned with this? Do I feel guilty after doing this? Am I beating myself up for my decisions? Food comes with a whole host of emotional and physiological triggers, I think. And so really tuning into that. Now, if you want a very specific fertility diet, I have that mapped out in my latest book, The Egg Quality Diet. But high level, it's eating a lot of protein. Most women don't eat enough from what I see. So eating 80 plus grams of protein a day, getting in 6 to 8 servings of vegetables a day, and eating good quality nutrient-dense protein will actually give you enough fat for optimal fertility. So I just did a reel the other day, and I think it's like my most popular reel I've ever done, of like the 5 things I would never do as a fertility expert. And one of them I said was go low fat. I would never go low fat. It is the worst possible thing you can do for your fertility. You need good quality fats to amplify your fat soluble vitamins, which are actually hormonal precursors in your body. You need cholesterol rich food to actually produce proper hormones. And so food is medicine. You cannot take vitamin E supplements and go low fat. It's not going to work. You can't take a ton of fish oil and not eat good quality nutrients, fat, or protein. It's not going to work. It's going to work a smidgen, but food is the primary medicine. Supplements are secondary to that. And then also how you feel about your food, your connection to that nourishment aspect is so important. So we have self-care, which is a huge umbrella. which includes sleep and of course includes other things that you can do for yourself, but free things too, right? Castor oil packs are not expensive. Abdominal gua sha is not expensive. You don't have to go and get acupuncture every single week, although I think it's amazing as an acupuncturist, but some people don't have the budget for that. So self-care could also just be tuning into like, how am I going to support myself today? Planning out your meals ahead of time, taking time to really like be present when you eat, to be present when you cook. That's all acts of self-care. Prioritizing your sleep, prioritizing your relationships, prioritizing how much you give away, how much you take back. Movement, going non-toxic with your bath and beauty products, focusing on your food as medicine. Food is the primary medicine. When I'm working with clients, when my team is working with clients, the two things we focus on is not just what you're eating, how you're nourishing yourself, how you feel after you eat, but then also the emotional state. That piece of the self-care is so important. And then I think the fifth piece that is really specific to women while they're trying to conceive, or really anything you're trying to learn about and better yourself, is education and empowerment. So you being able to ask your doctors for the right lab tests, right? You being able to advocate for yourself in medical situations. You being able to decipher whose advice am I going to follow? Am I just going to take the advice of every single fertility expert out there and take all these supplements and do all these things and completely confuse my body and overwhelm it? Or am I going to pick one or two people that I really trust, who actually have medical degrees, who are actually clinicians seeing patients in the clinic, who are continuously educating themselves so that they can best empower and educate you? That's so important, because what I see clinically and in my coaching practice is women will come to me and they are 100% on too many supplements. And I'm talking like 20 plus supplements. I try to keep my girls on 10 to 12 max. Ideally even less than that, and supplements should be food-based. Like, I really am very simple when it comes to that, because food should be our primary medicine. But most people come to me and they're like, oh, and then I got this fertility tea on this website, and then I was reading this, and then I'm taking the red raspberry, and then I'm doing this, and then I'm taking the Vitex, and then I'm taking all these supplements and the alpha lipoic and the DHEA and the CoQ10 and the blah, 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 all the things. And it's completely overwhelming to your system. And you're just throwing a bunch at the wall to see what sticks, which I understand that approach. However, it's not highly supportive to your empowerment or to your self-care. It's chaotic, right? So finding one or two, maybe three people that you really like and follow them. You don't have to go and sign up and pay for programs with any of them, but we all put out really solid information. But I think it's also saying, like, who am I going to let on my team from this space of empowerment? I am a powerful leader of me. Who am I going to allow on my team? Who's going to be there to support me, to believe in me that this could work for me? So education and empowerment. And with that, I do have an $11 offering for you guys if you want it. It's going to run this weekend. But it's a very low priced item because I'm basically just covering my admin costs. I just want to give you guys a lot of free information. It's about 6 hours of content. We call it my Nourish Your Fertility Retreat. And it's a day for you. And you can do it at your own pace. It's going to be available Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you can't make it on Saturday when it kicks off, but it's legit 6 hours of content. There's meditations, there's cooking demonstrations, there's lectures by me, mental, emotional ones. There's, educational ones. There's a lecture by my team on how we see fertility as an extension of health. There's some great bonuses on womb healing, on auricular ear seeds, we call it ear acupuncture or ear seeds. There's just so much. There's conversations about writing a new fertility story, opening our heart up to receive. There's, did I say meditations, mantras, so much information that I put together for you to educate and empower you, which again, you don't have to go and sign up for. Because you can get so much of it. If you're a self-starter, you can get so much of it from all the content that I already have out there, and just piece together your own self-care day. But if you want it all laid out for you in an easy format, and it comes with a pre-retreat package and a little, worksheet, and recipes, then it's a great way to just check out all my offerings that were made from me to you. I just revamped it. We do run this every year, and I just revamped it for this year. So you'll see a lot of new material if you've done it in the past. But again, I run it for $11 because I just want it to be available to every single person out there. $11 is easily what you'll spend at Starbucks on that, mochaccino that I don't think you should be, or if there's a mochaccino at Starbucks, I don't even know, but you know what I'm trying to say. $11 is not a lot of money for the amount of content. We value this at like a $1,500 experience. As is all of my lives. Like if you want to just go through and watch every single video I've made on my YouTube channel or here, you're going to gain so much information on what you can do to best support yourself while trying to conceive. But you can also take advantage of this offering. So it's, if you go to aimeeraupp.com/nourishyou, NOURISHYOU, you can kind of learn all about the retreat. I'll put the link in this comment too, but you can sign up, over the next few days, and then we pull it down and it's not available again until next year. So if you want access to that, go and check it out. So registering for it, like I just said, you can go, there's two sites. You can go to aimeeraupp.com/NYF, and that's a very detailed site of all the things, or aimeeraupp.com. Now I'm going to confuse you guys. Just go to aimeeraupp.com/NYF. Keep it simple. I'll put that link in here, and you can see for yourself all that it entails. But it's really about self-care and coming back home to that and understanding that fertility is an extension of health. It'll start, we have the videos starting at 9 a.m., but you can come and watch at any time that works for you, because it starts when you start it, basically. So it's all, on my end, it's all pre-recorded to make it the most accessible to all of you, because there's so many people in different time zones. So go check it out, and you'll understand more about it when you go to the page and read about it and watch the video. But aimeeraupp.com/NYF. And with that, I'm going to go because I have to take 4 minutes of self-care before I go live on a group coaching call with my coaching students. So I will see you guys later. But just remember, self-care, movement, detox your bath and beauty products, food is medicine, education and empowerment. You got this. I believe in you. I'm here to cheer you on and support you and give you all the latest and greatest information so that you can take home this dream baby, because you fucking deserve the life of your dreams. Have a beautiful day.